This is sure interesting, isn't it? OIPRD right here. Straight edge. It looks a lot worse when I grow a little more hair. What the hell? But yeah, it's like a straight edge. So I really started noticing this within the last month. This part up here, like basically it should be that thick all the way across, but like now there's like a straight edge here. It almost looks like, I started to thinking that it was a Dion character that you sent in. Well, I met him at the park over there, not far from where I was staying, in the tent there. So like basically all the other people that were on the other side of that easement part apparently turned out to be all reservation property. 1414. This toolbox here, look at this garbage, eh? This is like related to the elder, so-called elder, the borged out elder. Well, she was a good elder, don't get me wrong, this creature here, but she is 3 vaxes in, and she's directly related to this garbage here. Like this guy's a MK Ultra Manchurian candidate. All right, so like basically I think he's a junior. His father died now, I think. It was named Mark Hill as well. But he came in and gave 4 days notice to everyone else on the other side. Look at this garbage here. Where's Richard Smith at, I wonder, eh? Look at this garbage right here, eh? I've heard about Six Nations caught. Look at this garbage right here. You know about the underground networks, don't you, you piece of shit? Don't ya? Don't ya? Yeah, you're a piece of shit. And you've cast shade on the next 7 generations of your name and family. Aye, look at that piece of shit right there. Yeah, but yeah, basically they ran out. Everybody gave 4 days notice. And of course, like, yeah, you did a 180 flip within months. We were going to start from the garden to all of a sudden you got to leave. Then you made it a civil issue. Pretty much all the cops of Six Nations, courtesy of this piece of shit right there. Oh yeah, just look up some of the shenanigans that go on over there in Six Nations, right? I've talked to locals too. The underground networks, basically, the one girl was saying one empties out right in Lafarge, big gravel pit where they make concrete, wood stock. So yeah, but they basically sent in thugs to rob me because they would have heard me and I was talking about it to others, and well, they're live monitoring my phones. So I said, well, I dare them to send it in bylaw. So I'll have a camera right in his face and I'll show him a bunch of other stuff. Like, this is what I do, like seeking help here. Like, we need help, right? So yeah, please do arrest me. I need to talk to a robed bar piece of garbage for all this other. But see, they avoid me like the plague, because to acknowledge me would have to acknowledge Annette Marie, all right? So right around the time when I called 911 to report, well, actually the phones went missing after, and I'm starting to speculate now, like the idea that I would pass out in that park. Hold on a second. And the only thing taken was all my money and my phones, not the laptop. So they took all my money, burnt one $10 bill, all right? Didn't take my laptop bag, and left me with that. But my phones were gone, and of course there was audio on the day I called 911. So that happened, the robbery of the 2 phones, which now Bell connects everything to Six Nations, because it was Six Nations, basically, the girl at the OW, and the reason why I was calling crisis, trying to get my back pay for my pension. So like Ontario Works in Aurelia, there's a whole story of the OPP email thread and why I got to Six Nations and why I say Catherine Longboat used to be a good elder, but they flipped her, I'm convinced, using energy weapons. And now it's all out there, like the 5G and everything, and her kitchen speaker, the Google bot, came on all the time. I asked her all the time. And plus two, there was a signal all the time. I can't remember what it was. I'd have to look back at it. But like it was like a hotspot or like a router. But like some mornings I would wake up and it would be like full bars, and then it would like move away. So like what routers got mobility? Right. So something's creeping around, and I mentioned it to the elder. I said there's like cowboy looking things out there, like knife chucker. That's another one. My knife disappeared, and like 2 days later it was stuck in the tree by where I was working. Like whoever threw it there threw it so hard, like it was a folding knife, like it went in, but there was slack in the knife, so it was thrown in. It was probably chucked into the tree about half an inch, and so hard that like it bent, so like a jackknife, but just because of the play in the knife. But right by where I was working. And like before that, there was like cowboy boots about a size 10, and how I know they were creeping around at night was basically you could see they were walking and it was dark, so he got into some muddy area, so he went from like a walking stride, normal stride, to shit, I'm in mud, and he started running. You can see it, right? So my logic there is that he got into the mud and was like, fuck. Right? Cowboy boots, nice cowboy boots by the look of it. So then he jaunted off the other way, away from the camper. So clearly that was at night. He didn't know it was a mud puddle. Otherwise he wouldn't have walked in it. You could tell he was trying to get out of it once he knew, right? So yeah, like I start to wonder if maybe I wasn't poisoned by that Dion guy. Now the Dion guy, I was by the same park, and he was pretending to be a concerned citizen with all these other people that were trying to think of a way, like, what are we going to do here? Because they know about the vaccine and everything. So he tried to come up to me the first time, and like they totally blew me off because they're all bubbled Christians over there too. So I'm trying to explain to them the bigger picture. And the girl is like, do you got any evidence? I said, well, I can't give you a white paper of, 13,000 years of history here. And like I've had dot after dot, confirmation after confirmation here. Now, like they've changed the original White Love video now with AI to invalidate me. Now this fine in Ohio. You just do like basic history, like Atlantis. It's not, Atlanta, right? Even Q is like, we'll save Israel for last. Okay, so like my logic is the war started over here. And like if you do your research, the Buddha beings, the blue skinned people on the library wall here laughing at us. Orange skin sold out, the G picture, the whole nine, right? So basically, yeah, the Dion guys, I tried to explain all this. Like, yeah, I'm going to have a white paper to prove it. So they blew me all off. He tried to talk to me, and I just left at that point. So I never saw him. But like a week later, he came up to me. He gave me food and was pretending like he was in that group. But my logic after the fact, well, because I got sick for like 2 days after that. This is going back a while now. So like this has only started to happen probably about a month ago. This got worse here. But the thing is, like if it was an energy weapon or somebody touched me with something, how would it make that straight edge? Like I don't know what would do that. Even if it was a pulse they directed at me, that indent, well that's chubby, that's sticking out more. So you would wonder why that blotch of hair is there. So it almost looks like it wouldn't make sense if it was stepped on. Like, I don't know. Is anybody in military would know what kind of weapon would do that to me? It doesn't, I mean, it looks like a shoe print there, but you got to realize, like, that's flab there. So, like, why would the hair be fine there and not there and there? So it almost looks like something went on my face there, but that doesn't make sense. Running out of space for this patch here. But the thing is, like I'm losing big, huge wads of hair on my head now too. So whether it was the poisoning from this Dion creature or something else, the idea that I would pass out in the park, and like what tweaker would take all my money except for one $10 bill and not my laptop? They wanted the phones because of the audio from the 911 call and everything that was on there with the elder is my logic. Because, yeah, all the screen caps, all the text message, everything was on there, right back to CJ92. So, yeah, we'll just do this as a lazy.